Hey guys, welcome to another Monday morning get-together chat with Stephanie and Rozella. Hi ladies, how are you today in Spokane, Washington?
Hi.
And I know from a predetermined conversation, we're going to talk about one of my very favorite places, my alma mater, Eastern Washington University, Cheney, Washington today. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes. I didn't know you went to Eastern.
I graduated from Eastern many years ago, Rozella. Stephanie was a baby, I'm telling you. It's been a while ago. Okay. But yeah, it is. It's my alma mater for my bachelor's degree.
So did you learn about how many changes Eastern had gone to from when it originally became a school to what it is now?
No, are we going to learn about that today?
Yeah, we'll learn about that.
Let's do this.
I was curious to know if you were going to know that. I'm going to hop out for just 1 second, though, and she's going to get us started.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it.
So, Cheney, fun fact, it was originally known as Willow Springs. In 1878 is when it popped onto the map.
I had no idea of that.
Onto the map was to, do you want to tell them about the railroad or you want me to tell them about the railroad? Go for it. All right, it popped on the map because our area needed a railway depot. It became a town because they needed a railroad depot that was close to Spokane, which was at that time known as Spokane Falls. So they took a vote on it, and Cheney originally actually was losing the vote against Spokane because Spokane also wanted the railroad. So in, I believe, 1880, there were armed bandits and robbers who stole the votes from Spokane County, and they rigged the election. So Cheney was then said, okay, you'll get the railroad. They started the work, and then a couple years later, they re-voted, and Spokane later won it anyways, years later. So for that very short stint between, I believe, 1880 to, I think, 1883, Cheney originally was for the railroad, but that plan did not work out. However, there were a couple of other things that helped Cheney grow.
So in 1889, Cheney was awarded a state normal school. I don't know why they called it that, but that's what they called it. And it was a training center essentially for teachers to come. And that's how basically Eastern actually got started. So it started off as a teacher training school.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1937, so it was the state normal school for about 40 years, actually. And then after that, the second name was then Eastern College and Education. So that's when it kind of transpired a little bit more. And then in the 60s is when it became Eastern Washington State College. And then in 1977 is now what we know it as of the Eastern Washington University, your alma mater.
Well, good. Cool. I didn't know any of that history. That's really interesting. Thank you.
I do know there were a couple of other key factors. There were a few pretty bad fires in the late 1890s that wiped out the Cheney area, which ultimately led the railroad to be put into Spokane because they had the water and the means to care for it. So between Cheney losing the votes and the fires, that was like the ultimate thing that led the railroad to go into Spokane area. So with the school,
that sounds like suspicious fires to me, Rozella. Did you check into that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say suspicious. Our area is wildfire stricken, especially if you've been here in the last few years. Holy moly, our wildfires are terrible. So I totally believe the wildfire situation, to be quite honest.
And the water issue, I would say I find that to be just nature, honestly. Like out there, it's pretty rocky and porous in the land. So therefore your water, it's not as easily accessible, especially like in Spokane where you have a river that's running right through the middle of it. So
which is a reason why the area became popular for wheat farming is because wheat's are a dry crop. So actually in the 1930s, Cheney boomed for their wheat and dairy farms were in the area.
Cheney was also the first area to bring a roller skating rink to the region.
Ooh.
There's a pretty cool thing.
And then another growth period for Cheney would be the 60s and 70s, mainly just because Spokane grew during those times quite a bit. And because we're so close to Cheney is like really, it's right to, I guess we never really told you where it sits from Spokane. If you go
Well,
west,
let's go there.
it's
Yeah.
to the west and a little to the south on the map.
Right
Because
on
it's so
I-90 on the way into town.
Yep. It's so close that it grew just because it's kind of like a sister community. What do they call it? Bedroom community, I think is what they used to call it. Because
Right.
they're so close, they kind of can have that small town feel, but close to the city.
It's like having, you know, your sister down the way. Like, there's a sister next door. It's fine.
So currently, there's still Eastern Washington here for what people live in Cheney for, but there are also a few other fun things in the area, such as
Turnbull, one of our favorite places to hike.
I love Turnbull.
Well, you have to have a special permit to go hunting there, but anyways, considering it's a wildlife refugee area with over like 18,000 acres, but it's really good for walking for the
They
wildlife.
have a ton of elk you can go see. It's really a fun place to visit. Other things, there's Fish Lake in the area and Columbia Plateau hiking trail, which is really popular. So like other places in the Pacific Northwest, it's very much around outdoors and nature.
Lots of people do go out there to go fishing, actually.
There's a lot of smaller little lakes in the area as well. And then to the market portion of Cheney, what do we got?
Oh, this one is not moving as much in the sense because we only have 32 active listings out there. 12 of them are already pending. So you get 20 listings to choose from. But the average sales price out there in comparison to Spokane,
we're sitting just under 450 at 449.5. So the average price is on a little bit higher than what we're at in town at that 400 to 375 mark.
Okay. All right.
However, I do think it's a healthy market. The average listing price is sitting just at
475 or 457.
Sorry. 457. So they're selling just under list, which is good. I know in Spokane there for a while, our list price was like $100,000 more than the actual average sale price. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
but they're a little bit better at being realistic with the pricing.
Yeah, sellers are doing good there. How long have they sitting on market for?
Funny enough, these ones are sitting at about 84 days on market.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think again that goes to the fact that when you're searching for a home in Cheney, like you either know that you want to be there or you stumble upon it, which can make for a little bit longer days on market. But then once they're getting under contract, they're following our standard trend of about 34, 35 days-ish to close.
Yeah, it is a college town because of Eastern. So I do think that may have something to do too. It's not necessarily like an area certain groups of people might be moving to just because it is a college town. A bulk of those listings are falling between the price of 350 to 500,000. So you're kind of right in there. There weren't a lot of outliers there price point wise. I believe actually 22 homes were within that price point out of the 32.
Oh, okay. Quite a bit.
Something else that you find with the homes in Cheney as well, because of the age of a lot of the homes out there, they are a little bit bigger footprints. So I myself personally have sold to several investors out in that area because there's multiple doors, as you would call it. So they're really good for buying, a 4 or 5 bedroom, sometimes even a 6 bedroom, 3 bathroom home, and being able to turn those into a rental that you pay per door, basically with the common space.
For college students, it's great. I know I have a lot of friends. I lived out there myself at one point, and those bigger homes are then broken down, like she said, into doors. And they're just flats for the college students to lease out for while they're here for school.
Yep.
A lot of them. There's also a lot of other fun things. There's grocery stores out there now. From when I was a kid, it was so small. But yeah, there's multiple grocery stores out there. Buy Mart.
Now.
Yeah.
There's a few fun recreational things to do out there as well. And then businesses, that's the other draw. We had mentioned in one of our previous videos that the Amazon Fulfillment Center, that was the first one to go in Spokane, and that's just right in between Airway Heights and Cheney. So if someone is a student out there, they could very easily get a job at Amazon or even the Caterpillar company as well. Yep.
Oh yeah, good.
Yep.
Well, it's a happening little town, it sounds like.
It is. They even have an annual rodeo that comes out there too.
Ooh, that
I
I've been to
remember
it.
that. Yep. I remember it being a happening little town, I thought, when I was going to school out there for a couple of years. So there you go. It's probably grown since then, no doubt about it.
Just a wee bit.
Very interesting. Any closing thoughts on Cheney, Washington, ladies?
Well, I also know that they had some new construction going in because of their expansion. So if there are people looking that aren't necessarily college students that were like, that's not the fit, keep in mind that there are single family homes, that sort of thing as well out there if anyone's looking.
And some great little houses on, a little bit of acreage as well, that you can find out there too.
So it sounds like a great area for people who want to get out a little bit and get a little more acreage, and also a great investment opportunity for those investors looking for cash flow for houses for students. Got it all.
There's a lot of mixture of what draws people to that town. So I think it's, not just for any specific type of a person at all. It's just if Spokane isn't providing you what you're looking for, then don't be too afraid to look on the outskirts. You might find something you like more.
And as I say, if you want to look, these are the two ladies that can certainly show you the area. Give them a call. Their contact information will be on the screen. Let me know if you have any loan questions. Happy to chat with you about that as well. Thank you, Rozella. Thank you, Stephanie. Another great video.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.